What's going on, y'all? It's Will. I'm out here in the shop today with another Foxbody with electrical issues, and I'm going to get into those in just a minute. But the other thing I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to do this first, and if this has ever happened to you guys, I do feel sorry for you. I really do. This happened to me not too long ago, and I was able to fix my car good enough for me because my car is a 20-footer anyway, but I'll show you what I'm talking about, and you've probably got an idea already with where I'm headed. But yeah, the hood flew up on this car and it completely got it. I mean, it got it good, guys. And I'm going to do my best to get this to where his windshield wipers will work again and his plastic grill will fit better. I'm not going to do anything with the hood. I'm not a body man. So guys, let me stop yapping and let's see what I can do with this cowl. What I would normally do is pull these two screws out, let this drop out, remove these arms from the wiper assembly, and take all of this out so I have room to work. But this one is bent so bad that I can't even get a finger behind it really. So there's no way it's gonna drop out. So I'm gonna have to start with this still in the car, and then on this side, you can see it actually ripped the sheet metal, so I'm gonna have to deal with that as well. Still trying to brainstorm an idea for that side, but I'm gonna start here. I'm about to get after this cowl with the Porta Power, and I just wanna let you guys know that if this thing had pristine paint on it, I wouldn't even attempt this. I know a lot of y'all aren't gonna like the way that I attack this cowl with this Porta Power, and I just wanted to make y'all aware of that the owner's okay with it, the paint is not great, and I'm okay with it before y'all start making comments that hurt my feelings. So anyway, let me get after this cowl and see what we can do. So I've got somewhat of a game plan here, and we're just gonna start jacking and try to make some room here. And that is not really doing what I want it to do, but right now I'm just trying to get some room. So now I'm actually going to go a little bit further. Now you can see we're getting somewhere. Okay, and that's all of the Porta Power. So this is where a block of wood comes into play. But guys, I was editing the video a little bit last night, and I'm gonna be honest with you, all that cowl work that I was doing, I was kind of boring myself, but I wanted to leave a little bit of it at normal speed so you can kind of see what goes into it. But at this point, I'm gonna speed it up to 2 times the speed, just so you guys can see how I go about it the rest of the way. But some of that I left in there on purpose, like my Porta Power was giving me trouble. The jaws were opening, but they wouldn't close. I was having to undo it and manually release the jaws. And I just left that in there just so you guys can see that this kind of stuff happens to all of us all the time. This one is coming out better and better as I go, but I wanted to talk about the arm that came out, the assembly that came out. He has another issue now. This is the passenger side wiper where the arm goes, and the mounting point is broken. I actually have a buddy that has a lot of Foxbody parts, and he's going to try to see if he has the whole arm assembly. Hopefully he does, but if he doesn't, I'm going to plastic weld this and pray that it holds. My buddy ended up having a wiper arm assembly, and that's a good thing because now I won't have to deal with that broken mounting area on that passenger side. And also the cowl grill came in last night. So now I'm gonna put everything back together and test fit my cowl grill to see if this area needs to be modified some more. And I won't know that till I get everything together and see how far the assembly sticks out of the cowl grill, and just make sure I've got clearance for everything. All right, guys, here's the final product. And like I said, I know it's not a 10 of 10, but it started at, I would say, a -3. So even if I'm at a 4, I've done pretty good. I'm gonna test the wipers. I don't have them locked down just yet. They're just kind of hanging out above on the little tab there because I don't wanna run the wipers on the dry windshield. So let me click the key on and see what we got. There we go. On to the next problem. The car was actually having two different electrical problems. One was it was popping fuses when the fog lights were on, and then the other, it was popping fuses just randomly when the headlights were on. So the way I troubleshot it was I unplugged the fog lights and I unplugged the headlights, and then I went inside and I changed both the fuses because they are on two different circuits. And once I got the fuses changed, I turned the headlights on and turned the fog lights on just to see if it would pop a fuse with everything disconnected, and it did not. So then I came up front and I just decided to do the fog lights first. So I plugged in one fog light and it came on, and then I plugged in the other fog light and it came on, and I noticed they were blue. So that kind of threw up a red flag to me because I had run into that in the past, and sure enough, after a few seconds, it popped a fuse. So I went ahead and put some factory fog light bulbs back in it, and now they're working. So I don't know if y'all have ever ran into that before, but that seemed to resolve the issue on this car. Now, as far as the headlights go, when I plugged the driver's side in, it came on, and when I plugged in the passenger side, it popped a fuse. And I have worked on this car's electrical before when it was out here and I was putting a 347 in it. I did a bunch of under hood wiring cleanup, and I actually ran into an issue with his instrument cluster lights and also his fog lights. And the deal was when I turned on the fog lights, the horn started blowing. So I got that sorted and everything was working. In doing that, working with the headlight harness, I noticed that it was in bad shape. And I could go through the headlight harness and probably find the short and fix it, but he just wanted to go ahead and replace the whole harness, and I agree. To me, that's the best way to do it. So we're gonna put a new harness in it, and the harness he got from LMR actually had the wiring for the factory Foxbody alternator. So I de-loomed it and got rid of all that wiring because he actually has a 3G. And the other thing we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna be replacing the headlights with those right there. This is the factory headlight harness that came out of the car. And I would say it is a good thing that we went ahead and replaced it. I went ahead and de-loomed it because I just wanted to see if I could find the short, and I found multiple issues. So the first one is this big glob of melted electrical tape and electrical connectors. So that's been hot at some time. And then the other problem I found, this is the driver's side, was with this lamp, and you can see you got two bare wires there. These two connectors, that's where I actually fixed the fog lights. Everything going across the front of the radiator, I didn't really see anything there. But when I got over to this side, found more bare wires, which is not good. And then another big mass of melted, I don't know what that is, but I would say this harness had multiple issues. The other thing I'm going to do is, before I put everything back together, I'm going to connect the harness, the new harness, and connect all the bulbs and make sure everything's working before I put it in. I'm in the process of testing the headlight harness now, and you can see the fog lights and even the running lights are on. But I decided to do the fog lights first because I kind of had to run the harness down in there to get to the plugs on the fog lights. It was just the easiest way to do it. Guys, you got to see what's going on here. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go to running lights, and we got nothing. Got absolutely nothing. All right, now we're going to go, and you can see I've got this out, so that tells you something's going on, that I'm having to dig deeper. Headlights, they absolutely work, so that's awesome. Now, check this out. Fog lights on, and the parking lights come on, or the running lights come on. I finally got all the lights working. Guys, I didn't want to bore you with a bunch of testing wires and this, that, and the other, for about 4 hours. I was boring myself, but I'm going to show you what I found. This should be 91 to 93, but don't quote me on that. So this is the factory harness. This is the LMR harness that goes up to the headlights in the front. So as we're looking at this, guys, the first pin, top row, here we go. The first pin is your fog lights. Second and third pin, not gonna lie, I don't know what they do. The fourth pin on the top are your headlights. On the bottom row, first pin, don't really know. Second pin is your parking lights. Third pin is I want to say it's the right turn signal, and then the fourth pin is the left turn signal. I could have those switched, but those third and fourth pins on the bottom are your turn signals. But what was happening, like I said, was I was not getting any parking lights. And what I discovered when I de-loomed this is that, I mean, I'm not going to say LMR did it, but the fog lights and the running lights were pinned incorrectly. So I swapped those, and that's how I solved my issue. Now, the issue could be with the car. I mean, these cars have been hacked over 30 years, and it actually could be, you know, something that someone has gotten into back here. I did pull this out just to make sure it wasn't burned up or anything, because that's a big issue with these cars, and it wasn't. And everything looked okay, so that's what I had to do to solve my issue. But the car is fixed, so let's take it for a ride.